What is up, guys? My name is Level Up Tech and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about some things with the Samsung Galaxy S11. We're going to be talking about the release date, the price, news, leaks, all of that jazz. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the release date and the price of the S11. So the Samsung Galaxy S line releases a phone annually, and last year we saw the S10 release alongside the S10e and the S10 Plus in late February of 2019. With this given, we're expecting the S11 to release in February or March of 2020. Then when it comes to price, going back to the S10, the S10 had a starting cost of $900 and went all the way up to $1,150. So we're obviously going to expect the S11 to cost a little more. So the starting price may be around $950 or $1,000, and it could go all the way up to $1,200. Now moving on to the design and the display of the S11. So we don't really know too much about these things yet, but there are some things we know that could definitely potentially be a part of the S11. So starting off with the aspect ratio, the S11 points to a 20:9 aspect ratio, and in perspective, the Samsung Galaxy S10 had a 19:9 aspect ratio. So the S11 will be a tiny bit taller when in portrait mode, and when it's in landscape mode, it'll be a little bit wider. I'm gonna move around to the back of the phone now and talk about the camera. So Samsung has announced a new 48 and 64 megapixel camera sensor, but they have also recently announced a 108 megapixel sensor, which has been specifically rumored for inclusion in the Galaxy S11. 108 megapixels is a lot, and if Samsung decided to include this in the S11, it would be one of the first phones to include a 108 megapixel camera sensor. Basically what this means is that the S11 would be capable of taking very high resolution photos and videos. So it would be really cool to see this in the S11, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see what Samsung decides to do with this 108 megapixel camera sensor. Next, I'm going to get into the specs and the features of the S11. So when it comes to memory, we're expecting it to be anywhere between 6 and 12 gigabytes of RAM. And when it comes to the chipset, the S11 might be the first phone to have a 5nm chipset. This chipset is believed to be the Snapdragon 865, and it has been benchmarked with scores that beat any other phone. And it's also likely that the US versions of the S11 will use this chip, so that is definitely something to look forward to. While we don't have anything on battery yet, it would be really nice to see a higher battery capacity for the S11, because in the S10 it had a 3700 milliamp hour battery, and it's just not really enough to keep the phone going for as long, and it would be really cool to see a higher battery capacity, maybe 4000, 4500, maybe something insane like that. I don't know, but hopefully Samsung will listen, because that is something they should definitely be including in the S11. So that's all I have for today's video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, found some use out of it, and I'm really excited for the S11 to see what kind of more stuff it'll include, all of that jazz, and I'll definitely be making some more videos as more information comes our way. But for now, that's all I have, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
My heart